Alright guys, so let's get into this AI propagandist system I've built over the past 48 hours. I've spent so much time building this automation here and it has been an absolute nightmare, to be honest with you, but the results that this is going to generate are going to be absolutely insane, and I'm genuinely scared of what this is capable of. So let me walk you through, I'm going to walk you through how the automation works, what you're going to be able to do with it, and then I'm going to walk you through how to do it, okay? Now, just quickly before we get into this video, I just want to say I just got done filming, and what I think would be really useful for you before you get into AI propaganda for your trading info business is just to understand the baseline. How do we scale to 100K a month? What are the systems? Because this is super fucking advanced, okay? So there's a video down below linked that my partner just posted about how you can scale to 100K a month with your trading Discord. So check that out after this or before this, whatever you want to do. So basically, what we've got here is this automation takes responses from this Google form. It takes all of that information, it sends it to a couple of AIs, and this will run as many research loops as it needs to get all of the proof and all of the evidence that it needs to make any claim that you make in any marketing or any belief that you want people to believe absolutely unquestionable, the most potent marketing that you will ever fucking see in your life. So basically, that will run through this loop. For Ryan here, it ran through the loop 18 times. It's going to take the research and the chain of beliefs, and then it's going to put it into this prompt here, which is build propagandist. And what you end up with is this AI propagandist prompt, which if you send this to Claude and you say, write me an Instagram story sequence that convinces people that my strategy is the best strategy in the world, it will take all of this, and it knows your testimonials and your case studies, it knows your product deliverables, it knows, and what it has done is it has gone and it has done research on the internet, and it's looked at articles and it's weighed up, okay, this article supports this the best, and it's gotten like 5 articles, scientific studies for any claim that you make, basically. And so what this means is that you will be able to have VSL scripts. You can take this, what I did is I took this and I put this into gamma.app, and it gave me slides basically that make it, or I'll show you the final results. I had to edit it a little bit. It didn't have some of the screenshots on there that I wanted it to have. It should be this one. So you can take this, put it onto slides with gamma.app. So you just give it the prompt. Or first I would go to Claude and do a few variations of a VSL script or a YouTube video script using the AI propagandist. It's going to give you a YouTube video idea, thumbnail, script, everything, if you use it right. And then you go to Gamma and you give it the VSL script or the YouTube script. And then you export that, put it onto Google Slides because it's quicker and easier to edit. And then you edit it up, and it makes your marketing and any claim you're making and any belief that you want people to have, it makes it absolutely unquestionable. So let me walk you through how to do this, okay? So I can't give you access to the form and the automation because this automation costs us I think it's about $20 every time this automation runs. So every time a client submits this Google form, it costs us about $20. But I will walk you through how to do this just on a document, and then I'll give you the prompt so that you can run it yourself with Perplexity, ChatGPT, Claude. So we're just going to fill out a few simple questions here. So like, who are you? What have you done? Why should people listen to you? What's your name that people refer to you as? How do you speak? Like, are you playful? Are you serious? Are you authoritative? And then you want to give it as much context as possible. Spend an hour and a half on this, right? Once you've got this, your conversions can triple. I fully believe that. Give it just summaries of testimonials and case studies. So like, Jack went from X to Y. Alex went from A to B, you know? Do that. And then also put like, Alex went from A to B because we did this, this and that for him, you know? And that way, when it's writing copy and it can include your testimonials and your case studies in a truthful way, which I can show you some examples of in a minute on my Instagram story, really quick. All right, so if you look here, this is an Instagram story sequence it wrote for me. I've got a 14-day launch sequence here that it wrote for me, and I'm going to show you just this day, which has been the best day it wrote by far, because I got better at prompting it after doing it 6 times, basically. So my favorite part of this is that it included Dodgy. It knows the exact revenue number. It knows exactly where he was before. It knows what we changed, basically, and then it knows the numbers. It knows how long it took. It knows what the narrative is of that, and then it knows it for Jack as well. We took him from 2K a month. He had no systems. He's targeting the wrong audience, and this is all literally true, like literally fact, truth, and you know, we literally just helped him dial in his content strategy. His views fucking went crazy. He went from 16k followers to 110k followers. Built him a sales team. That was after this, but Jack did go from 2k a month to 40k a month in 90 days, and it knows all the numbers, and it's insane. And it told me at the bottom here, include this screenshot here, include this screenshot here, you know, put this graphic here, stuff like that. And it wrote for me 26 slides there, and every fucking day I've just got this stuff to post, and I just sit down, I go on Instagram for 10 minutes, I find a picture, copy paste, find a picture, copy paste, find a video, copy paste, you know what I mean? And then if I need to add some extra screenshots, I'll go in and screenshot a deal's Instagram page or his revenue or something like that, you know what I mean? Same with these Google slides here. It made me 164 Google slides for a YouTube video I'm going to post. And then it put the research on the screen. It makes whatever I want them to believe. So I want people to believe in this video, I want people to believe that managing a sales team isn't hard, right? I'll find you those slides real quick. So the fourth belief shift I wanted them to have in this video was that hiring and managing a sales team isn't hard, right? So it's gotten the, you know, the supporting arguments for me. So one of them is that there is way more high ticket closers than there are good offers for them to work for. So there's high demand for offers, low supply for offers, which means you win and talent fights over your offer, right? Sales reps are fighting over offers like yours. And also another thing that I wanted to include was like, because there's going to be a pitch at the end of this video, right? Is that our network, you know, we can literally send an email out, and we've had this so many times. We hop on a group interview on Zoom, and there's too many people here for me on this fucking call for me to choose from, where I have to do it like a game show, and I have to be like, raise your hand if you've never closed on a trading offer before. Half the people raise their hand, I kick them all. Next one, you know what I mean? And it's too many people, it's like 50 people. So, you know, the other one is the Instagram DMs thing. Like if you're a trading creator, you know your Instagram DMs are... So it basically did all of this for every single belief someone needs to have to buy what I'm selling in that video, basically. And you can have this, and this was fucking automated. Like if you sat down and you did 160 slides of this shit by hand and went and found this research, like 2 years ago, this would have taken you 3 or 4 weeks to build out, realistically. All of this stuff, the Instagram story sequences, the email sequences, the landing page, the VSL script, the slides, would have taken you fucking weeks, maybe a month or 2. It took me maybe 12 hours to do all of this using the AI Propagandist and knowing how to prompt AI. So let's get into how to actually do it. So you would fill out all of these questions. These are the simple ones. And then market reality. So basically, what's the desired outcome of your prospect? What is the external problem that they're actually aware of? And then how does it make them feel? So the external problem might be like they're inconsistent in their trading. The internal problem would be like something like they're frustrated because they aren't making progress. And then the philosophical problem, I would write something like, the reason why this makes them frustrated because they're not making progress is because they're stuck in a situation they don't like, such as a 9-to-5 job, or stuck in college, and they see all this freedom on Instagram, and they want that freedom, and they want that financial freedom. And then what they've already tried and why it failed, so it would be like support and resistance, or buy and sell indicators, or they've tried algorithms, or they've tried all different types of strategies they've tried, or different courses they've bought. Maybe they've tried trading a different instrument and that didn't work. So you want to write all of that down, and then obviously this all goes into AI through our automation for clients, but you're just going to write this all down on a document and then just give it to AI and say, build me, put this all together, and then deep research. Once we get to the chain of beliefs part, which is the best part, deep research that. So the one belief, so what is the single belief that makes buying inevitable? Realistically, if you're a trading creator, it's basically that your strategy is the best and easiest strategy for them to pick up and learn, or something like that, right? It might be different for you if you're like a crypto guy or something like that. That's basically what that is. And then what is basically different about the way that you're thinking or your opportunity that they didn't know before? So it could be, so let's actually look at Ryan's here, and I'll show you an example of his. So if we go to the one belief, so the new opportunity, so his is basically, he trades with order flow, crazy stuff on a chart, right? So the new opportunity is the shift from like prediction-based discretionary trading to actually using what institutions are using, basically. I guess that's what he's trying to get at there. Let's look at the next one. So the unique mechanism would be basically the name of the way that you trade, the name of your trading strategy or whatever you're building a brand around. So his is the CLC method, context, location, confirmation, which makes it really simple. That's a good one. So yeah. And then why do other solutions fail? So he wrote, most traders fail not because they lack effort or intelligence, but because they lack a repeatable framework. Okay. So yeah, just write down why. So if you're a let's say you trade order flow on, I don't know, maybe you would write, this is why ICT concepts fail. This is why random buy and sell indicators fail, right? Okay, chain of beliefs. Now this is the best part, really. This is where you will make the most progress with conversions. This was all context for the AI to understand your avatar and your offer and your brand and everything like that. Now this is the best part, okay? I want you to spend maybe 30, 45 minutes on this, even if you're using this automation. So basically, what you would do is you're gonna write down, so the first belief is they need to believe that my strategy works and is probably the best option for them, right? Something like that. Below that, they need to believe that day trading is the best way for them to achieve financial freedom as a beginner, as a student, or as a 9-to-5er, right? And then below that, they need to believe that they actually need financial freedom to live the life they want to live. And then below that, they need to, do you know what I mean? So we go all the way fucking down. So think of every belief, like if you were to sell your program on a sales call, what would be the objections that would come up at the end after you price drop or before? What would be the obstacles? What would be, but does this work? Will this really work for me? I don't believe it will work for me because, and is this, does this like work with futures? Does this work with options? Should I trade futures? Should I trade options? Should I trade crypto? Everything you can think of that people need to fit into this box and believe these things to buy my product. And if they don't believe this, they won't buy. List every single belief that they need to fucking believe to buy. And what will happen is, if you're a client and you're using this automation anyway, is we will take all of those beliefs, okay? So I've coded this to basically take that list of beliefs, it will separate them out, and it's going to loop through Perplexity, which is the only AI model that you can do a HTTP call on to do deep research. Otherwise, I would have used OpenAI deep research because I just think it's a bit better output. But it will basically loop through that 18 times. So it will do deep research here on Perplexity. It will find a bunch of articles and supporting beliefs and stuff like that. And then from there, it will go into ChatGPT to format it. So it's going to format it as, this is the belief, these are the supporting claims, these are the quotes from research, these are the citations from research. And then for every single belief you write in the chain of beliefs, you will end up with this on a document with belief 1, belief 2, research support, supporting arguments, an example of how you would persuade it for Claude or whatever. And then you're going to have your citations as well here. So if you're writing, if you send this to Claude and it comes up with, this article says this, and you can't find the link, you would just Control F that article, right? Or if you need an article for a certain belief, you need some sort of way to propagandize some certain belief, and you need people to, you're doing a piece of content that is convincing people to believe a certain thing, you would Control F that belief, right? So like here we go. So inconsistent results are not caused by lack of effort or intelligence. So if I want some research here, results from genetic studies, don't really like that. So it's access to data and protocols and material hinders results, not you, your efforts, or your intelligence. I like this argument here. This is great propaganda. Where was I? Here. I want to have a little look at that, see if there's any useful screenshots I can take. So this is basically what AI will be able to go and do for you. If you send it that master prompt, if you send Claude that master prompt, it will be able to go and quote from these sources, and same with Gamma, and same with, you know what I mean? So VSL scripts, Reels, Instagram stories, email sequences, Gamma slides. So I'm going to go have a little look on here. I like diagrams. I like nice big screenshots. But if we don't have that, where are we? If I can't really make sense of this, like if I'm fucking stupid, right? Like I don't really want to read this, I'll just Control A it and I'll say ChatGPT, like find the best quote for, I'll make a voice note maybe, I'll just paste it to it, make a voice note, yo, I'm trying to convince someone of this belief, here's my master prompt, AI propagandist, find a quote from this research and find a place I can screenshot for an Instagram story or a Gamma slide. And that would be how you would use this, right? So that's the benefit of writing as many of the chain of beliefs as possible. That's how we're going to use the chain of beliefs. So spend a lot of time on this, try and think of everything, because this is going to cost us $20 to run and we don't want to be rerunning it all the fucking time, right? Now this is just to give the AI a little bit of context on it, well, not a little bit, as much context as possible please, on your offer and your pricing and the deliverables and all of that stuff, any guarantees, anything like that, so that when it comes to the end of any slides or any CTAs or any VSL scripts, it knows how to pitch your offer well, right? So here, it's gone through the case studies and then it's gone, can you think of any reason these systems wouldn't work for you? And then we've just gone into, most people charge, you know, this much, and then we're pitching, right? So it's going to be at some point, you know, book a call, stuff like that. So it's pitched it quite well. Once these spots are gone, stuff like that, right? So make sure you give it as much context as possible with the offer as well. And then this is where I want you to basically give it as much context as possible with the way that you trade, so that if you are going to use it to write any reels or Instagram stories or email stuff, it can actually provide value to your viewers, so that it doesn't have to hallucinate and make shit up. We want to almost teach it how you trade. So what you can do is basically get a transcript from a YouTube trade recap video, or just a YouTube video in general that explains how you trade, and paste that in there, basically, kind of thing. And just give it as much context as possible, proof that it works, any case studies or stories or logical proof, supporting arguments that it works. But you should have that already in the chain of beliefs, and it will try and do some research for you as well. But try and give it as much stuff like that as you can, like stats, as much as possible, so that it can write it into your copy and your VSL slides if you're going to use it for that. Webinar slides as well, right? Pitch decks for closers, anything. So that is how to build your AI propagandist. I would consider, I'm just going to scroll through this one more time, so that if you're not a client, you don't have access to this, you can just sort of pause and write down the questions, fill it out, and just fill out this canvas, and then give it to ChatGPT, give this canvas to ChatGPT, use deep research mode, and say deep research, supporting arguments and research and scientific studies and articles that support my chain of beliefs and support my claims. So yeah, this is what the automation will return if you're a client. And then this will be your master prompt. So I'll show you now, if we want a VSL script, we'll go to Claude, we'll Control A that, Control C it. So I want a VSL script for Ryan. So I'm going to say to Claude, use this AI propagandist master prompt, add all the research to write me a VSL for the offer detailed in master prompt. See how this does. Shit. Fucking hell, it's too strong. It doesn't like it because it's called AI propagandist. Alright, so let's just take this out then. That is fucking crazy, bro. That is fucking crazy. Try this instead. It said that this is too strong. It actually said this is too strong. Alright, well, what you might have to do is take it to Grok and try and like unwoke it and make the AI not scared of it. Holy shit, I didn't expect that. That is fucking crazy. Yes, through honest persuasion. I'll pause while this loads and then we can look at it after that. Alright, so it got done writing a VSL, but it didn't quote as much of the research as we wanted because it's scared to. So I'm going to say, can you try and quote some more research? Because it knows how fucking strong this shit is. You know what I mean? Damn. Let me see. Research. Here we go. It's doing it. Alright, let me show you this final version. Alright, so let me show you a little bit of this script. This is fucking powerful. This is fucking insane. So it said, and the reason why this is so strong is because if you highlight a problem to someone for the first time they've ever even heard of the problem, then you are automatically framed as an authority and you're the only solution because you're the only person speaking about the problem, right? So here we've said, most intermediate traders take a trade that checks all their boxes, good setup, proper risk, clean entry. You guys can evaluate whether or not that's true, and you can edit some of it, and you can, you know what I mean? You guys are the traders, I'm just a market. So that might be bullshit. You might have to edit that sometimes, you know? But what's happened is it has said, you know, it's not your fault it's because of this. Most people don't realize this. It's not your fault. You assume the problem is execution or psychology, or that you need a better indicator or a better strategy. But research on trading performance tells us something different. This research, that research, you know? Execution outcomes depend heavily on market factors independent of your actual execution skill. It's not your fault. It's about what you're trading and when you're trading it. So this is like, it's going to have to be played around with a little bit. So like when clients make these scripts, or we'll make most of these scripts for clients, most clients. So when clients, you know, have one of these scripts, we'll edit this stuff and, you know, we'll go through it. I'm not going to waste you guys' time on me doing that right now, but it knows the offer, it knows you can see here, it knows his strategy, right? So if you remember from before, he filled out his strategy. If we look at this response here, so strategy. Here we go. So CLC method, context, location, confirmation, and then we've got that in the script. So it is literally effortless, just AI writing propaganda for you, writing VSLs for you. Why does this work? And then it's going to quote some research here, and we're going to put screenshots on the screen from fucking articles and journalists and diagrams and statistics and scientific research. All of these screenshots are going to be on the screen in this VSL, and that is going to be so much more powerful than how we were doing it before. I mean, this is literally propaganda, and you can see that because it was scared to even write this. It said, this is not ethical. Like, this is literally not ethical. So we want to try and keep it ethical. If you're not a profitable trader, do not use this. Do not do this. It probably is illegal, what we're doing here. But if you are a profitable trader and your students are getting results, please use this, because we will help more people change their lives. Don't use this to scam. I'm kind of scared about putting this on the internet. But to be honest, fuck it. You know, I think this is cool. And to be honest, I think the world needs to be more scared of AI. I really do. So hopefully, if this blows up in my face, we can bring some more awareness in the course selling industry to how scary AI can be. So yeah.